What is up, everybody? Welcome to the dungeon. I am about to do your weekly tarot reading. What I will be doing is I'll be pulling one card for each zodiac sign for the general energy of the week, and then I will also pull one more for the love energy because everybody wants to know about love, but you know what? Not everybody has love in their life. Okay, so let's go ahead and just hop right into it. We are going to start with our Arians. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I just did the monthlies for all the zodiac signs, the general monthlies, and very, very soon on Patreon. The link should be in the description box. Aries, you have quite a month ahead of you. But for the moment, let's check out this week, okay? See what we got going on here. We have the Five of Wands. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised based upon the reading that I did earlier today. So you may be doing a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting with people. You're definitely feeling conflicted about some things, not entirely sure how you feel. You may feel as if you are in competition with other people. And yeah, there's a little bit of insecurity there. And this could make you extra explosive because you don't like feeling that way. It makes you feel vulnerable. So you don't like feeling vulnerable. So you may be, since you do feel that way, you may be kind of explosive. I think it's that uncertainty that is causing the problem. So I guess since you have no control over what's going on, not knowing is just driving you crazy. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Aries. Let's see if it's a little bit better. I mean, I guess the Five of Wands doesn't have to be bad. You know, if you really care, it's about like putting up a fight for what it is that you want. But let's see what's going on in your love life. You know, it's not looking that great. I'm sorry, you know, don't shoot the messenger. This is just what it is. We have the Three of Swords here. This is about separation. This is about endings. This is about feeling very distant and cut off from your partner or your situationship or the person, you know, you would like to be your partner, but it's not quite a situationship yet. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with all this stuff. But yeah, so definitely a difficult time in your love life. A lot of heartache right now that you are dealing with. So of course you're combustible. Of course you're combustible. Like, this shit is happening. It's freaking heartbreaking, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have no control. So it's gonna be a rough week. I'm sorry to say. Again, don't shoot the messenger. I gotta say what I think. All right. Let's move on to Taurus. Let's see. What is going on with Taurus over the next week? What kind of energy will Taurus encounter over the next week? What is going on with my Taurians? Okay. All right, we have the world here. So there are some things in life that are coming to a conclusion. This is not always a big thing, but with some of you it is. But it could be as small as like finishing a very important task. So you may be getting a lot of things done this week, which is great because things have been crazy, especially since the holidays. Even if you don't celebrate anything, like just going about your daily tasks, such as grocery shopping and whatnot, it's just insanity. It's just insanity. So there's an ending that's coming to that phase, and that's a relief to you. Some of you may be more introverted than others. less likely to want to deal with people more than necessary. And if that's not typically how you are, that's how you're feeling right now. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life. So even if that's not the situation, it's like something um, that still, got you feeling a little distant and separate from people. Interesting. Okay, again, let's see what's going on in your love life. Um, so we have the death card. So something in your relationship is coming to an end. This is something you also have no control of, like with Aries, you have no control of the situation. Um, in some cases, it's devastating. Like if this is the end of a relationship, this can be very devastating. But if this is the end of a difficult period in your relationship, well, that's something to celebrate. So it could go either way. When there are difficult times like these, like it could have been really, really rough. Um, the relationship goes through a transformation, a rebirth, almost similar to a phoenix. It like will burn out and then it will rise again um, with more strength. And even if that doesn't happen in a relationship, even if it just straight up ends and you feel like the relationship is not rising again, you will. Even if the relationship isn't, you will. So just kind of hold on, get through this difficult period. You're going to be okay. All right? So let's move on to Gemini. See what is going on with Gemini over the next week. What's up with Gemini? What kind of energy will Gemini encounter over the next week? Gemini, you have the Four of Wands. So you're really focused on your home, on your commitments, responsibilities, taking care of business, making sure you have a stable place to stay. You may find yourself, because you may find yourself in a lot of difficult situations right now. So it's really good to have a place to go back to, a touchstone, if you will. And this is your home. So it's like the touchstone is your home. So you may be like reuniting with somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while. Um, I think that there needs to be a discussion about the whys and kind of addressing the whys, because I think that you and this person both kind of like want to reunite and, apologize possibly, because, this is like family. Whether literal or metaphorical, this is like family and you don't want things to be this way. Otherwise, you're really enjoying the security of your home. You may be spending a lot of time there. You're just happy. You're happy at home, if you will. Let's see what's going on in your love life, though. I just shuffled already. We have the Seven of Wands. So with the Seven of Wands here, things may be a little bit more difficult. Not necessarily. You may be in a situation where you are having to explain yourself to somebody. Again, you could be discussing a relationship that you have going on, commitment, what you're going to do moving forward, discussing kind of what has happened in the past and can we move beyond this, trying to get a better understanding of each other and the situation in general. And if you're single, you're trying to get a better understanding of the situation, like why is this happening? And it like I need you to make sure that the whole why isn't is this happening doesn't turn into a negative, like there's something wrong with me type situation. It's just not the right time. There are more things you need to experience before you have that experience. As frustrating as it is, because I feel like you really do want a relationship, you really want to have somebody you can build a home and a life with. Um, it's just, I don't think it's the right time to get there. Like if that's what you want, okay, but I think there are some things that need to be worked through first before you can get there. Okay, be it with yourself or somebody else. That's what it comes down to. Alrighty then. Let's see what is up with our cancers. Okay, what kind of energy will Cancer encounter over the next week? Excuse me. What is going on with Cancer? Oh my goodness. What kind of energy will Cancer encounter? So you may be like having some difficulty with your communication. So it's like you may be feeling like you're being misunderstood and inclined to kind of pull back into your shell. But at the same time, like you don't want to. Here we have the Knight of Cups, so you kind of want to like go out and have fun, have a good time with your people, and just enjoy yourself. Yeah, I think right now you are more focused on enjoying your life, doing the things that make you happy, going after the things that make you happy more than anything else. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Cancer. What is going on in Cancer's love life over the next week? Cancer, you have the Ten of Cups, so you're going to get what you want. What is it that you want? Well, it varies with each one of you because this is the same general energy, different circumstances. Okay, so you are getting what you want, or you are finally at a place where you know what you want and you're going after it. You have decided to go after it. But in some situations, if you want this to come to an end, that's going to happen too. It's whatever you want. If you want it to end, okay, it's going to end. If you want it to move forward, or if you want to try to develop something or build something, okay, that's possible. You know, either way, you are deciding what it is and becoming more clear about what it is that you want moving forward. When you are within a relationship, with your partner now or with someone in the future. Okay, let's go to our Leos. Cheers. Thanks for showing up. All right, we have Leo energy coming in for the week. What is going on with Leo over the next week? What kind of energy will Leo encounter over the next week? Leo, you have the moon. So there are some things that you don't want people to know. There are things that you're not completely certain about either. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like you have a lot on your mind that you're not talking about. Now, in this situation, I don't necessarily feel like you're being a hermit. I just think there's a lot on your mind that you're not talking about. Like, when you're with other people, In those moments of silence, your mind is somewhere else. It's drifting somewhere else, but it's not obvious to the people that you were with, and you don't want it to be. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life, Leo. Wonder if this has anything to do with it. It is the general energy. What's going on in Leo's love life? Leo, you have the Eight of Wands. So there's some sort of communication that may come through, and it's really exciting. Like if you've just met somebody, y'all maybe communicating, talking on the phone, texting, video chat, however you choose to communicate or prefer to. Um, but you're still trying to play it cool, and you're not telling them everything. And it's not necessarily because you are trying to have secrets. It's just one of those things where it's like you're just getting to know each other, and it's not like you're not quite at a point to go into the heavy stuff yet, so to a certain extent with people you're keeping it surface level. But in other situations there is going to be a conversation that is had. I feel like maybe somebody may express how they feel, and that is going to be exciting. And again, you can decide what you want to do in regards to that situation, whether or not to move forward there. Um, I think in some cases there is a desire for communication here that you are not receiving. Like you may really, really want somebody to talk to you, but they're not. And this may be what it is that's like on your mind that you don't want people to know is on your mind for whatever reason. Um, yeah, so there's a lot there, even though there's not a lot there. There is a hurricane beneath those moments of silence. It's there even when they're talking though. That's kind of the thing too. It's like in the back of their mind all the time. And that's why it's there even when you're around other people. Anyways, it's always there. Right now anyways. It's at that point right now. Okay? But we'll see what happens next week. All right, Virgo. Let's see what's going on, Virgo. What kind of energy will Virgo encounter over the next week? What is going on with my Virgos? I was going to say virgins, but let's be real. What's going on? We have the Four of Pentacles. So, Virgo, you're not really expressing yourself. I feel like you too kind of have a bit of a guard up. I feel like you're not comfortable showing your cards. So you have your cards close to your chest. Some of you may be trying to save your money. That could be very important to you. So you're trying to act like you don't have anything. That's the best way to do it. In my personal experience, it's the best way to do it. Like act like you don't have it. It's not even there. And yeah, it turns out being there when you need it. I don't know. I kind of feel like in some situations you will gain enlightenment through kind of holding back a little bit. Like I think like this may be a situation where it's like a conversation and you're discussing certain things and it can get to a deeper level, kind of like what I was just talking about with Leo. But you're trying to see how things work out where it is first. Where it is now, you want to check that out first and then make your decision based on that moving forward. Your decision moving forward based on that. Okay, let's see what is going on in your love life, Virgo. What is going on in Virgo's love life over the next week? Virgo, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So you are working on nurturing a relationship, developing a relationship, putting time and effort into it. In some situations, you are trying to figure out whether or not you want to do that. So you may be in a situation where it's time to figure out where things are going, and you're not entirely sure what you want to do yet. So maybe that is also kind of like when you pull them back a little bit, you kind of want to gain a better understanding of the situation. Um, but if you are already committed, um, I don't know. I kind of feel like some of you may be holding back your efforts. Like you're holding back to a certain extent. You're not fully jumping in here. So it's kind of like you're trying to see what's going to work. Basically, it's like you're trying to see what is going to work out for the best before you actually like make that choice, make that decision. I feel like kind of holding back is a theme for at least the past few signs. Okay, let's move forward here. All right, let's see what is going on with Libra. All right, what is going on with Libra over the next week? What kind of energy will Libra encounter? Over the next week, what's going on with my Libras? All right. We have the Ten of Swords here. Let's see. With the Ten of Swords, you're dealing with the ending of something. This is extremely heartbreaking. Hopefully, and in some situations, and hopefully it's yours, there's an end that is coming to the heartbreak. But in other situations, you're in the thick of it. You're dealing with it. It's very heartbreaking. This is a very difficult situation. It's causing a lot of stress. You may even be getting sick, or you may be really sick right now, and it's just a very difficult time. So if you are sick, be sure to take the time to rest, because if you keep going too hard while you are sick, then you're going to end up getting sicker before you get better. It's going to get way worse yeah, it's going to get way worse. So you should really nip it in the bud. I'm just saying, if it's possible. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Libra. What is going on in Libra's love life? All right. We have the Ace of Wands. So interesting. Some of your love life is, you know, there's something new that's starting here. But I do have to say, I'm sorry, I have to pop your bubble, pop, and also say that it could possibly not be starting. And you're very upset and hurt about this. But I think for the most part, something new may be coming in, or you may be entering into a new phase in your relationship, a new start, if you will, or phase. Because a new start would kind of imply it came to an end. So either or, whether it came to an end or you just went through a very, very hard time, I think that is you're going to be starting over, moving forward in a new direction. Some of you may just be extremely, let's just be frank, you're extremely horny. You want to get some, but you may be having a hard time with that. And that kind of sucks, that kind of makes you feel bad about yourself, and which nobody likes to feel bad about themselves, right? But it's not like always like that with some people, it may be the desire alone. Like if you don't have anybody, this is the desire alone. Sometimes you want it more, and sometimes like you're okay with not getting it. You see, so it's almost like getting in the mood. Like sometimes you'll get in the mood and really desire it, but you don't necessarily, go after it. And then you'll be like totally okay without it for a while. So it's just kind of like moods that you get in. So, okie dokie. You have a good day too. Thanks for stopping in. Let's move on to Scorpio. What is going on with my Scorpio? I hope you're not stinging by people too much. I hope you're not stinging yourself. Okay. Let's see what's going on with Scorpio over the next week. What kind of energy will Scorpio encounter over the next week? What's going on with my Scorpio? Okay, Scorpio, we have the Page of Swords. Okay, some of you, oh gosh, again, this is like another situation where you're holding back. You're not like completely opening up, especially with communication with other people. And unfortunately, when you do, it may go awry. Like it may be a situation where um, there's like a lot of petty arguments. Like you kind of can communicate with having a bunch of little petty arguments, and it's really stressful. But at the same time, they're petty. So it's like things that can be moved beyond. But at the same time, if these are things that consistently happen over time, it can build up and get to a point where you can't move on for it. So it's like the key is changing your behavior or working to change it. Because there is only so much that you yourself can do. You have no control over other people. And that sucks, of course, because you kind of want to have control over the situations around you, and in some situations that includes other people, but you don't. So you're trying to kind of observe what's going on. You may be studying, um, possibly like an apprenticeship of some sort. You want to know more, basically. You're talking less so you can learn more. And that's not a bad thing. Let's see what is going on in your love life. Okay, let something just jump out. Scorpio, you have the Fool here. The Fool involves taking a risk. Are you willing to take a risk? The Fool has no idea what's going to happen. What does that mean? You have no control over what's going to happen. You have no control. So even though you have no control, the question is, are you going to take the leap anyways? Like, are you going to take a chance on this person? Are you going to take a chance on a new phase in a potential relationship or a relationship? Um, it's looking good. You're feeling optimistic about things, but at the same time, um, you're reluctant to take this risk. And thus you're kind of trying to observe the situation more. Before you do, you want to learn a little bit more. So some of you may be scared. This could just straight up be fear. This could be just straight up fear. But I think there are some of you that are going to push through the fear and go for it. You're going to go for it. Good luck. And that's not a sarcastic good luck. Like, seriously, good luck. Go for it. I hope it works out for you. And if not, you know what? Transmute it. Turn it into something else. Turn the heartbreak into something else. Transmute it. Okay. Let's see what's going on with my Saggies. What is up, Sagittarius? What is going on with Sagittarius over the next week? What is going on with Sagittarius over the next week? Sagittarius, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you're handling business. You're being responsible. You're focusing on the task at hand. You know the goal, you know the end game, and you're going after it. You know, you don't really need anybody's assistance, but it would be nice. You know, it wouldn't hurt. You're open to it. You know, you're open to what other people have to say, and you're open to your intuition. So if there is some sort of lack of clarity, you're open to having ideas and plans and choosing actions from what you have learned and developed over time. I think you feel like what you are doing now is going to lead you to a greater level of success and freedom, even. So again, like I said, like you don't really need anybody to help you in the situations. Thing you don't. You can handle things by yourself, and like you maybe, you know. And with this situation, I don't think it's a stubborn. You know, if like you can't do it right, so I have to do it. I might as well do it because you're not doing it right. I guess in some situations it is like that, but I think primarily it's out of necessity. You know, it's something. It's just the way you are. It's the way you've learned to be. It's out of necessity. Okay, let's see what is going on in your love life. It just jumped right at me. We have the sun, so good times. You know, I feel like you are having good times this week. You and your partner are really enjoying each other's company. Um, you know, you may be learning more about each other if you have recently met, and yeah, just enjoying the growth that comes from building a new connection with somebody. Um, in some situations, something will be expressed that has not been expressed before. But I think also that in some situations that can be very difficult for you to do, because you've always been like independent and solitary and like taking care of things on your own. But again, it's kind of like out of necessity. So this may be kind of uncomfortable for you. And again, there's the holding back. That is the theme this week. Holding back before you take action. Observing the situation, pausing and taking a moment to observe the situation before you take action. But I feel like that's been going on for a while. I think that just in general, this energy has been going on for a while. Of just kind of, you want to know more before you make a decision. It's not the right time. You know, life is putting you in circumstances where you can't make the decision. Stuff like that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for some forward movement. All right, let's move on to Capricorn. What is going on with Capricorn this week? What kind of energy will Capricorn encounter this week? And how will it affect them? If it affects them. I hope it doesn't affect them because we have the Five of Swords. Drama. Can you say drama? Hopefully you're staying out of it. But if you are staying out of it, it's a situation where it's directly around you. Like it's extremely hard not to get involved. You have to draw some hard boundaries and like stick to them because it's just chaos. But like unfortunately there may be situations where you can't avoid this. There's drama going on with you and other people, and it's like you may be feeling like you're getting attacked from multiple people even, and so you're really on the defensive, and there's just I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication going on, and potentially even things that are being said that you seriously regret. But again, here I think it would be in this situation, I think it would be advisable to, and I'm not responsible for the results of you taking my advice, I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, it would be advisable to kind of take a moment to observe the situation before you react, or kind of take a breath before you react, because this is kind of stressful. It can, in some situations, it can be like you working through some really difficult things with people, but in other situations, it could be just dealing with some very difficult situations and or some very difficult people. Um, let's see. What is going on in your love life? What's going on in Capricorn's love life? We have the devil, Capricorn. So you may be being super stubborn right now, and this is causing drama. I think there are patterns that of your relationship or in your relationships, your love life, that you are repeating. These are causing major issues. This is not saying that the other person is not at fault at all. I'm just saying that you have a bit more of influence on the situation than they do. So I think that if you were able to disconnect from some of this toxic behavior, that it would bring a lot more peace into the relationship. But unfortunately, some of you may be indulging not only in toxic behavior, but also, in mind-altering substances, which you need to be very careful with because you could very easily fall into addiction. And this is definitely going to cause drama in your relationships. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. You cannot tell me that your addiction does not affect the people around you. You cannot tell me that it doesn't affect people. Like, you can't tell me that. You just can't. And it's very important to examine the influence it has on your relationship and what you need to do about it. You may be in a situation where you are dealing with a partner like this, and it's time. You may be in a situation where you feel trapped, you feel chained, but it's time to break through those. It's there to a certain extent. This prison is self-imposed. So it's like you can end the situation, you can leave the situation, but it's your decision whether or not to. So if you are indulging, it's your decision whether or not to continue or stop. If you are on the other end of it, like suffering from dealing with other people, it's time to decide whether or not you want to stay. You got to cut those ties. It's within your power. You know, it's just really, really hard because you really, really care very, 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 very deeply. And of course you do. Of course you do. Like, if you didn't, you wouldn't be dealing with this drama. You wouldn't be so seriously affected. And I think that also bothers you a lot, because it makes you feel vulnerable and you don't like feeling that way. Um, which is probably has a lot to do with like you numbing your feelings. It's a way of not feeling. And when you don't feel, you can't feel vulnerable. See what I'm saying? So there could be the fear here of actually dealing with the emotions you have, actually facing them. But I really think the drama and chaos that is caused by whatever you are doing is causing more damage and more stress than it would to face those feelings. Um, on that note, we'll move on because I feel like I was on that for a while. Okay, let's see what is going on with Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. What is going on with Aquarius over the next week? What kind of energy will Aquarius encounter? I just need one card, okay? Let's see what is going on. Wow, okay. So you're also dealing with a very difficult time, lots of stress, lots of chaos. Some of it you have no control over it, you have nothing you can do about it. In other situations, you are so wrapped up in it and you do play a part in it. And once um, you make the decision to no longer play that part, there is still going to be drama. It's just you are not going to let it affect you on the same level. You're gonna like draw a boundary and refuse to allow this to get to you. But I think you are concerned that someone has stabbed you in the back or is going to. That's rough, Aquarius. Okay, let's see what's going on in your love life. It's like you don't want to fight, you don't want to argue, you don't want to deal with this drama and chaos, but it's coming at you anyway. In whatever way it manifests. Should have done that. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I have no control over this. I don't. I mean, I have control over how or whether or not I say it, I guess, but that's not the purpose of what I'm doing. My purpose is to say it. We have the Five of Swords again. So, just straight up Five of Swords energy. Straight up fighting almost for your life. You may feel like you are fighting for your life. If you are not literally fighting for your life, you are fighting for your life, metaphorically. And in regards to a relationship, you may very well be fighting for your relationship because that is your life. That is your life. So you get the tinglies, and you don't want this. You don't want what is going on to destroy what it is that you have. So this is something that you are trying to work on. And whatever that form of work may be, it's something that you're trying to work on. Right? So it's very difficult. It's something, whether you're in a relationship or not, it's something that you are trying to work on. Because you don't want the drama and stress and chaos of what you have gone through and how it affects you to affect your partner. You don't want to be one of those people that lashes out on your partner because life is hard. And I think that that is something you may be having a hard time doing. That was for Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces, though. Sorry, I changed the banner before I said that. But we're moving on to Pisces now. What is up with Pisces over the next week? Oh, goodness gracious. Boys, okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles, Pisces. Okay, so here you are, you're carrying this energy of focusing on your work, focusing on your home, maintaining your finances, your education. You are just like all around, you are doing the damn thing. You are doing the damn thing. If you are not at that point, you are at the point where you're tired of not doing the damn thing, and you are creating a game plan to change things moving forward. Because you're not happy with your situation, and I think you're in a situation where you're the only one that can change it, and whether or not you feel good about that, again, depends on your situation. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Pisces. What is going on with Pisces in their love life over the next week? I gotta get some music, you guys. All right, we have the Ace of Wands. So you're feeling very affectionate, very loving, very passionate towards your partner. You know, in some situations, it may not be as obvious that you're being affectionate. Like, this may be energy of handling business and then, you know, handling business and then going to sleep, because it's like, so it's not necessarily, unfortunately, in some situations it's not very exciting, and you may have to indulge in a little self-care, but hey, you know, that's better than just like, it's better than making any bad decisions in regards to, you know, not being able to get what you want with your partner when you want, okay? Because otherwise you may be inclined to step out, and that's not a good inclination to have. I mean, I guess it depends on the dynamic of your relationship. Some people are into polyamory. Hey, do you, whatever makes you happy. Personally, I think one-on-one relationships are complicated in general, so adding more to the situation. Some people can do it. A lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. And not only do a lot of people do it, they do it in ways where they have to hide it, so it's even more complicated. Okay, I'm like smiling and laughing, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Um, yeah, anyways, so some of you may be kind of, I don't know. It's like you're bossing up during the day, and at night, you know, you're putting on those shoes. You're going out and having a good time. And if you can't go out, you're staying home and having a good time. And if you have no one to be with, you know, you may be indulging in self-care. Hey, no judgment here. No judgment. No judgment. That being said, is that a good note to leave it on? I don't know. But that's where we're going to leave it. And I will see you guys again next week. Maybe. I hope. After all this.